Welcome to the Hoops with Us podcast, and today I am joined by a very special guest, Coach Ryan Looney. He is the head coach at Idaho State. Coach, how you doing today?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, no problem at all. So, Coach, for everyone out there that doesn't know too much about you, just tell us a little bit about your coaching journey.
Yeah, I grew up in Spokane, Washington. I played college basketball at Eastern Oregon University. That institution was also my first head coaching job. I was the head coach there for 5 years. Went to a couple NAI national tournaments and won a couple conference championships. I left there and spent 7 years as the head coach at Seattle Pacific University, which is a Division II school. Again, we won a few conference titles and some conference tournaments and played in 7 straight Division II national tournaments. And then left there for a lot of different reasons and became the head coach at Point Loma in San Diego. Was there for only 3 years. We missed the beautiful weather every single day. At the end of the third season, we won a conference title. We won the conference tournament. We won the regional title. We went to the Elite Eight of the national tournament and lost a close game in the national championship game. Because of all those experiences, I was fortunate to get offered a head coaching job at a Division I school, which brought us to Idaho State. And it's just been a little bit less than a year now since we've been here. We're loving it, trying to build a program. Trying to do some special things, but know that it's going to take a lot of hard work and a little bit of time too.
Yes, sir. For sure. So, like you just told us, you were the head coach at Point Loma. Tell us what that experience was like playing in the Elite Eight and playing in the national championship at the D2 level.
Well, for me personally, it was a long time coming. I coached at the Division II level for 10 total years. 9 of our teams made it to the NCAA Division II national tournament. Had a handful of years where we got all the way to the regional championship game and came up on the short end. Finally, in the 10th season, at Point Loma, we got ourselves over the hump, won that regional championship game, went on to the Elite Eight. The NCAA did a fantastic job with it. The guys on our team had an unbelievable experience. Thought we were playing our best basketball of the year at that time. We played in the Elite Eight game against Queens from North Carolina, played extremely well, won that game. In the second round or Final Four, we played Southern Indiana, which is a national power at that level. The arena we played in was only about 12 miles from their campus, so it was like playing a road game in the Final Four. I think there were like between 6,000 and 7,000 people at it. We ended up getting up 10-0 to start the game and held on at the end to win it, and then played in the championship game on national TV, and I think we lost by 5. I still haven't gone back and watched the whole entire game film. There were a couple moments in it which would be tough to watch. They had a half-court shot at the end of regulation, or not the end of regulation, but the end of the first half, and then late in the second half, we had a defensive stop, got a deflection, ball trickled out the half court, and they hit a bank shot at the end of the shot clock. So I think we lost by 5 and gave up 2 half court shots in the game.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
That is crazy.
Yep.
All right, Coach. So the next question that I have for you today is, like we were talking about earlier, you accepted the head coaching job at Idaho State. I think it was in April of 2019.
Yep.
Just tell us what it felt like getting the head coaching job there. And like you said, you guys are trying to build this program up, and like you said, it's going to take a lot of hard work. So how has recruiting changed for you guys during this time of pandemic, and just tell us what has it been like being the head coach there at Idaho State so far?
Yeah, well, number one, my family and I, we loved our time in San Diego and at Point Loma. It was hard to give up on that experience and accept this job. But as a competitor and someone who's had a dream, decided to take my shot at the Division I level. We got a lot of work in front of us here at Idaho State. We're trying to build a lot of things, a roster, interest in our community. We're trying to fundraise. So a lot of different pieces we're trying to put together as we build our program. The first year was a little bit of a struggle for a lot of different reasons, trying to implement a new system. We also had injuries to some pretty significant players, which never played in the game, so we redshirted all of them. And now, as we've gotten into the end of our season, we won our first round conference tournament game before the rest of our tournament was canceled. It was the first postseason game an Idaho State men's basketball team has won since 2009, so we were excited about that. But it got challenging with COVID-19 and all the restrictions placed on us with recruiting. We were fortunate that we had 4 players sign with us all the way back in November. So to get some early commitments done was important for our recruiting class. But the rest of recruiting actually turned into a whole bunch of phone calls, text messages, and different ways our staff could be creative. Honestly, a lot of our communication with kids and their families have been on a Zoom call, just like we're doing right now.
Yeah. I think it's with the recruiting how it is right now. I wouldn't say it's easier to build relationships, but coaches are just talking to these guys so much more now since guys can't go onto campus and stuff. So I think the relationship building aspect has improved a little bit through the Zoom call and just through social media in and all.
For sure. At the end of the day, these kids are in an unfortunate situation. Some of them can't even get themselves on a campus to check it out. Literally, they're making their decisions based on a relationship with a coach or a coaching staff, and that's it. So our coaches have done a really good job working as hard as possible to develop relationships with as many kids and families as we can right now.
Absolutely. So, Coach, the next question that I have for you is, besides recruiting, what are you and your staff doing to improve for next season?
Well, I think personally, I've done a lot watching film, trying to make sure we're playing the right way going into next season. We've had to be creative in regards to thinking about if we're going to have summer camp, and if so, how we're going to have them. So I think we've done a good job improving that part of the program. We've been doing different things to try to increase our funding and fundraising during all of this, knowing that there's probably some budget cuts on the horizon. So we've even turned some of what would be our normal booster club meetings into Zoom meetings like this as well. So I think just a whole lot of creativity and maybe getting out of a comfort zone and finding different ways to do things.
Absolutely. All right, Coach, the last question that I have for you today is if you could describe to us your coaching style.
Boy, I think it's tough. I think it's always got to change a little bit. I think everything we do is relationship based. We want to have great relationship with ourselves amongst the staff, but we also want that to carry over to our entire group. Most importantly, the players. We want to have strong relationships with them, but most importantly, we want them to have strong relationships with each other. I think in regards to style of play, my teams have always been a mid-tempo type team. We don't play too fast, but not too slow. We take a lot of pride in making sure we can execute offensively in the half court. And then I think similarly on defense, we want to protect the paint. We want to contest shots. We want to block out to finish plays, only giving our opponents one opportunity. So I think we don't play too aggressively, but we don't play too conservatively either.
For sure, Coach. Well, that's all the questions that I have for you today, Coach Looney. I really, really appreciate you joining me on the show today. Hopefully this COVID-19 stuff clears up soon so you guys can get back in the gym with your guys this summer and get ready for next season.
Appreciate it very much.
No doubt, Coach. Stay safe, and I'll definitely be in touch soon.
Sounds good. See ya.
Yeah.